Hey everyone, this is Alaska from Call Out Culture. I hope you're enjoying the podcast. And if you are enjoying the podcast and you feel inspired to start your own, let me tell you about the system that we use. It is called Anchor. Best things about Anchor, it's free. There's tools that allow you to create and record and edit your podcast right from your phone and your computer. You can even add a song from Spotify directly into your episodes. The possibilities are endless of what you could create, whether it's like music analysis or your own radio show or something that the world's never heard before. I don't know what that is. You figure that out. Not my job, yours. Anchor is going to distribute the podcast for you so it'll be heard on Spotify, Apple, and all the other podcastings you can use. Like all you do is you upload your podcast and boom, it appears in the other feeds. You can also make money through advertisements like this, or you can also set up like your own sort of Patreon fan support thing. There's no minimum listenership, and everything you need to make your podcast is in one place. So if you want to do a podcast, you want to be like us here at Call Out Culture, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm and get started.
Welcome to Call Out Culture Podcast with Alaska, Curly Castro, and Zilla Rock. Call Out Culture, the podcast. Call Out Couture. We're back.
Call Out Couture.
Your favorite high fashion podcast, hosted by
favorite varsity jackets with tigers on them.
Your favorite, yeah, all of that shit. Zilla Rock, I'm back.
Yeah.
Shouts to Alaska holding it down with the new yo. Is it weird if I call it new yo, even though I wasn't in the scene?
No, that's what everybody calls it.
New yo. Okay.
New yo.
I didn't know if it was like when people say San Fran, but everyone in San Fran hates that shit.
No.
They just say SF.
I mean, I don't think anybody hates it. That's what we all call it. I mean, either call it New Yo or New Yorican.
Yeah, good enough. Shouts to everybody fucking with the new yo episode. The DMs, the comments, the shares have been really cool. Shouts to Breeze,
it's been cool.
Gang, and Wise Guy, and Cryptic for sliding through. I was lucky enough to meet Wise Guy right before COVID when we were
you did meet him, right?
Yeah, and he had the boombox.
Yeah,
that was really fucking cool. I didn't know how legendary it was. Dope. And Mike Eagle, he had the boombox going for Mike Eagle and Poison Pen.
Yeah, he doesn't have the Sony anymore. He has the Bluetooth speaker now.
You're right, he did. Shouts to Wise Guy.
Yeah,
man. And I was going to say something too about. There's something I wanted to mention on the pod. It'll come to me. Okay. Anyway, shouts to everybody rocking with us. The Patreon is popping. Patreon is fucking going up. I don't even tell you guys. The Patreon comments, subscribers. Thank you guys for fucking with that continuously. We're dropping.
Thank you.
Yeah, the one shots again, exclusive content. Shows come early. You know, we do like live demo listening parties and all that. If you're a Patreon member, so thank you to everybody.
Oh yeah,
fucking with it. What else is happening? There was a couple things I want to make sure I said at the beginning before we start. I don't think this episode is gonna be listened to very, very highly. I'll be honest. I don't know.
This one, I don't know.
It'll be a hidden gem. People will go back to in 3 years. They'll be like, they were onto something with that shit. And this is what I want to say real quick. Shouts to Amoeba Records in Berkeley. Man.
Hell yeah.
Fans of the show. Fucking stand-up dudes. I scooped the Jungle Brothers album there.
Nice.
I went through the whole rap section. I didn't have a lot of time to be there, which I wish I could have spent like 3 hours. But shouts to Evan and Ray. Bought some nice dollar bin finds I've already found some samples on. Nice. I saw a lot of the homies vinyl. I was taking pictures, sent it to everybody. It's just so cool to be, but I hadn't been in a record store in 3 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's nice, right?
It occurred to me. I was like, whoa. And seeing my little card, my little insert for the CD and the vinyl sections is really fucking cool. So shouts to Ray, shouts to Evan. It's really fun. I do wish some of our friends, some of their labels had more pieces available to be in stock, but that's how fucking popular they are. What are you gonna do?
It is, yeah.
But yeah, if you're in the Amoeba
vinyl going and stuff now, so
I know. So if you're in any near any Amoebas, I think that's LA, Berkeley, and SF. Go fuck with them. Tell them
Do it.
Call Out Culture sent you.
Tell them.
Tell them. So yeah, shouts to everybody there. All right, cool. Well, tonight is not about rap music.
No.
Mm-mm.
Not even a little bit.
Not even
I
a little bit. There's some small
there's
parts.
elements.
There's elements of it.
Yeah.
I think our first ever Patreon exclusive piece of content was about this show, if you recall.
Was it?
Yes.
Interesting.
That's how long ago. Maybe it's not that long ago. I don't know.
No.
Snowfall.
Yeah.
This is the Snowfall episode. So this week wrapped up. Was this season 4? 5?
5, I think.
5. And it's
so, yeah.
it's hard to get a gauge on who is watching Snowfall. I could just say, like, before COVID, I would hear about people around me talking about it more than I do like online. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It was like one of those shows,
totally.
like a real live show, not just like 10 fucking hipsters talking about it on Twitter.
Yeah.
So it's a real show. It's really dope. We dedicated our first Patreon, pretty sure, to it, wrapping up whatever season that was. And so tonight we're going to go in on this season, which was crazy.
5.
Season 5, maybe like some things we love about the show overall, things we're looking forward to. So if you've never watched Snowfall, it's, the cool thing about it was Castro and Alaska. I think you guys were on like season 3
when you jumped in. Yeah.
And I jumped in. So I was binging season 1 and 2 as season 3 was airing live.
Yeah.
So then I finally caught up to you guys like right towards the end of season 3. And it's a wonderful binge show. I highly recommend people. So if you haven't watched it, if you have Hulu, or you're like me, you have Hulu, but you also have cable, whatever you want to do, FX, whatever it takes, watch this fucking show. Let me ask you this. What made you want to watch it, or like, how did you first get into it?
I just saw commercials for it, and I thought it was interesting. I thought there was like the whole sort of Freeway Ricky Ross element to it. It was John Singleton.
Fuck yeah.
So I was just like, it looked dope. I saw the commercials, probably watching some other stupid show on FX, like Sons of Anarchy or something. And which is anybody watching Mayans?
I remember I watched the first season of Sons of Anarchy on like Netflix DVD.
Yeah.
Right. And I was like, there was a part where like they flayed this dude with like a flamethrower in a garage, and I was like, I'm out. Yeah. And it was like a 2-episode thing of this dude's body getting scorched, and I was like, this is not for me.
It was such a bad show. The funniest thing about that show was they try to make it like they're these badass like motorcycle gang, and there's always got to be an action sequence where they're chasing somebody on motorbikes.
Right.
And it was like legit like watching an episode of Chips. I don't know if you ever saw Chips, but it was like, it was like, this is the most hokey shit ever.
Oh my God.
But yeah, it was bad. But yeah, I mean, I saw it then, and I was like, I gotta watch this. And I was hooked from the first episode.
Yeah, I have no real reason. I think where I was I think when it started, I think my son was just born or something, where I just was like out of sorts for a hot minute. And then once I got on board, I was like totally enthralled with it. It's so dope just to see like West Coast hip hop, street drug culture, but not from a 90s point of view. You know what I mean? Like just to go like early 80s and seeing like that's really never been shown before, really, that I can recall. Maybe there's a movie I don't remember, but like even that movie Dope that you really like, that's like a more contemporary, like West Coast type of thing.
And it doesn't go like this does.
Right. It's
like it's happy ending in Dope. You're like, okay.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of kitschy because he's like obsessed with the 90s, but he's like playing punk. You know what I mean? It's like, ooh. But there's like hood shit.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Odd Future, Risky Business. You know what I'm saying? It's like the smart kid wants to go to Harvard, gets caught up with some gangster shit, and has to like flip it on everybody.
Risky Business is one of those movies I've seen at least like 6 times in my life. Yeah. And I've always every time it's on or I've just watched it, I'm like, man, I fucking love this. But it's not a movie that occurs to me that I love it.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Man, the music, Rebecca De Mornay, Joe Pantoliano. The movie's fucking great, dude.
Yeah, Booger. From Booger to the Nerds.
Sometimes you gotta say, what the fuck, Joel?
Yeah. Dude,
I like
peak
real
Tom
quick
Cruise.
when Tom Cruise is calling homegirl on a sex line, he like puts his catcher mask on
Yeah.
at his house. He's like, my name's Ralph. Risky business. Spoilers. It's fucking 50 years old. Go check that movie out too.
Go check it out. It's dope.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a weird scene where there's like sex on a train.
Train. Yeah.
That you're like, wait, this doesn't really fit with anything else that's happening in the whole movie. But
and there's like a weird homeless dude watching them and shit. It's great.
yeah, it's like almost like
Great movie.
It's like what Ferris Bueller's Day Off was for like seventh graders. This was for high school kids.
Yeah.
Kids who could go see a rated R movie on their own because they're 17.
Ferris Bueller is my number one movie of all time.
It's a great movie.
My entire life.
Great movie.
Not best movie, not most. It's just my favorite movie ever.
Great watch.
Of
all
all
the way
time.
through.
I agree. Yeah. So anyway, Snowfall, nothing like Ferris Bueller in any fucking way ever.
No.
Can't be more. It's the opposite of Ferris Bueller. There's no black people in Ferris Bueller, which is fucked up.
There are not. The only thing that might override between the two episodes is like if somebody pulls out a Gordie Howe jersey or, drives like an old school Ferrari.
57 Ferrari Testarossa.
Yeah.
There's only 9 ever made. My father doesn't drive it. He just waxes it with a diaper. There you go. I know every line for the movie if you want to go date with me. Yeah. It is his car. It is his life. It is his fault he didn't lock the garage. Boom. All right.
Exactly.
Anyway, sorry.
Anyway. So that's how I got into it.
Bet. Yeah. So and then I got it in from just hearing people like in real life speak about it and you guys watching it. And then me being like, I just can't even explain why I'm not watching the show right now. And once I started, I was like, I mean, FX is let's talk about them real quick. FX is a fucking great network, man.
It's the best network there's been for the last 20 years.
I mean, it's like they're pushing HBO.
They're crushing HBO.
I don't know, man. I've been on my HBO Max shit, and I'm just like, I never need to really watch Netflix again. HBO Max.
I don't go to Netflix at all anymore.
Yeah, like HBO Max is like The Tourist, Raised by Wolves, Flight Attendant. What's the name? Our show.
How was Flight Attendant?
Oh man, I just got sucked into it. It's really fucking cool. It's fun.
Winning
really
Time.
Fun. Winning Time's awesome. And then our show, The Gemstones.
Barry.
Gemstones,
and Barry's coming back.
All of that shit.
Yeah.
It just reminds you like Netflix is like some sucker shit sometimes. Like it's got some moments, but overall HBO is just like bringing it. Like 20 years of bringing this shit.
Yeah.
So highly recommend that. Anyway, props to FX with Snowfall. So I think what's dope about the show, especially this season, is you see the real life timeline of where real things in America, like how they hit people in a very like ground level area, and then zoom out to what the whole, Iran Contra and Nicaragua and like silent weapons for quiet war shit, which I'll be honest, I only really knew about this stuff through like Jay-Z lyrics and being a little kid watching Oliver North do like his Senate hearings. That's the only thing I ever knew about that shit. So watching like the whole Teddy angle and what he's doing in the first couple seasons, I was like, oh, like this is the whole fucking, this is a real thing that really happened. That again, Jay-Z just really helped me figure out also. Jay-Z lyric.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, and they also have like the Gary Webb element in there as well.
What's that? What's Gary Webb?
Gary Webb is like the journalist who kind of cracked the whole like CIA crack in LA thing. So like it wasn't him. They made it the woman.
A woman, yeah, the Asian woman.
Yeah, but it was the same sort of like that was like the story.
Damn, I would like to read that shit now. You know what I mean? Like
same.
The historical, like the real shit from the 80s.
Yeah.
I think the show is great too. Like the 80s element is so deep with like the Lacoste and like the fucking stereos.
Yeah, members only jackets.
Members only and the Jerry curl. But like also the music is ill too. Like it made me really appreciate 80s rap more.
Yeah.
Because it's like electro 80s rap. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's not like Young MC or like Run DMC all day. It's like almost like freestyle music, like that element too.
Yeah, it's almost like Arabian Prince style shit.
Yeah, and like Mantronics and all that. Like,
yeah,
it's so fucking cool to check. And so like I thought that world was really cool. Like waiting for the typical 80s rap songs and they never came on. but
Never
hearing
came
other
up.
songs where I was like, oh, this is crazy.
Yeah. Although they did bring it in at the very end of last night's episode.
Well,
But I think the way they did
incredible.
it was fucking perfect.
That was slamming. They had one at the beginning. I gotta look up the credits. There was one at the beginning of the show. Oh, they dropped Phil Collins
Last night.
Field in the Air. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a great scene too. And it was like, it's one of those things where it comes in a movie, you're like, come on, man, you're using this again.
But it was,
and then when it came in on this, I was like, oh,
it made me think like that should have been worst case the 3rd round pick in the all everything draft. Just the drum fill from Field in the Air tonight is a solid 3rd round pick. That's good value.
I think we need to do a Phil Collins episode at some point, man.
Oh, I'm all about the Phil Collins episode. Wow.
That shit. That should take a look at me now.
Did you ever hear when like Bone Thugs flipped that shit and he was in the song?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that shit is, Phil is no jacket required. We gotta do that over the summer too. We'll do Crew Love, and then we'll do like White Boy Edition. Phil Collins, Hall Notes, Huey Lewis and the
do all that. Yeah.
Fucking Joss Stone.
Oh man. You said Joss Stone. Joss Stone is the common of white people music.
He is the common. When he said, when we perform, it's just coffee shop chicks and white dudes, like she's the coffee shop chick.
Yes. Without question. Without
question, that's her. But anyway, Snowfall. All right, so why don't we take our first quick break and then we'll come back and we'll just get all in to this new season of Snowfall. You're not listening to this if you haven't seen Snowfall. I get it. Come back around at some point. Fuck with us if you can. We're co-op.
Yeah, come back next week. We'll have something rapish.
Yeah, we'll do some rapidies. Or Phil Collins. Who knows?
Yeah.
Or Genesis. We'll do a Genesis.
Yeah, maybe
we'll do the Peter Gabriel episode.
Oh,
Lineage of Greatness, Peter Gabriel.
Lineage of Greatness. The guy from every single movie trailer.
The Black Panther Party 10-point program. Written October 15th, 1966. We want freedom. We want power to determine the destiny of our black community. We believe that black people will not be free until we are able to determine our destiny. 2, we want full employment for our people. We believe that the federal government is responsible and obligated to give every man employment and a guaranteed income. 3, we want an end to the robbery by the capitalists of our black community. We believe that this racist government has robbed us, and now we are demanding the overdue debt of 40 acres and 2 mules. 4, we want decent housing fit for the shelter of human beings. We believe that the white landlords will not give decent housing to our black community, then the housing and the land should be made into cooperatives so that our community, with government aid, can build and make decent housing for its people. 5, we want education for our people that exposes the true nature of this decadent American society. We want education that teaches us our true history and our role in the present-day society. 6, we want all black men to be exempt from military service. We believe that black people should not be forced to fight in the military service to defend a racist government that does not protect us. 7, we want an immediate end to police brutality and the murder of black people. We believe we can end police brutality in our black community by organizing black self-defense groups that are dedicated to defending our black community from racist police oppression and brutality. 8, we want freedom for all black men held in federal, state, county, and city prisons and jails. We believe that all black people should be released at the many jails and prisons because they have not received a fair and impartial trial. 9, we want all black people, when brought to trial, to be tried in court by a jury of their peer group or people from their black communities as defined by the Constitution of the United States. We believe that the court should follow the United States Constitution so that black people will receive fair trials. 10, we want land, bread, housing, education, clothing, justice, and peace. When, in the course of the human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which are connected them with another and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and nature's God entitle them, a decent respect of the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to this separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men are created equal, that are endowed by the Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Little Robert Hutton, Curly Castro, out on Backwoods Studios. Get it now.
We're back.
The post-Easter edition, eating fucking wild candy. My God. But my wife got me the a snack I don't recommend to the listeners. The honey graham M&Ms. It's a very odd candy.
That sounds odd.
Not a big fan. The M&M is mostly unrivaled as a candy. Peanut M&M, fucking all timer. Personally, I'm a huge fan of the peanut butter M&Ms, the pretzel M&Ms, all about it.
Mm-hmm.
Caramel ones, don't love it, but it's solid. Plain M&M, standby.
Always the winner.
Well, I mean, yeah, however you want to go
Wait,
about
did you
it.
mention the peanut butter one?
Of course, that's my personal number one.
Yeah, that's the best. Yeah.
Pretzel is slept on. The pretzel is.
I can't fuck with chocolate pretzels, man.
Bro, the pretzel one? Oh.
Yeah, I can't fuck with them. I don't like the chocolate and pretzel combo.
Yo, all right. Well, I'll tell you what you won't fuck with is this honey graham M&M. It's very. I'm eating it because it's chocolate, but it's not.
There's a real like throwing cereal into everything kick going on right now. I've been noticing it.
Yo, I'll tell you my favorite.
Fruity Pebbles frosting and shit like that.
Yo, Fruity Pebbles Kit Kat. I got it one time. It was limited. It was the best thing I ever bought.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
What's the shit? Because it's like white chocolate with the Fruity Pebbles in it on the Kit Kat with the crunch. Highly limited. It's like getting it's like getting like Fly God or wax or something. Or
interesting.
Highly recommend.
I mean, because I was like, I used to go to like 16 handles, and they had like in the Fixins bar at 16 handles, they always had like Fruity Pebbles, Captain Crunch.
This is like Stranger Things season 6 or some shit right now.
Dude, you throw that shit up in your yogurt, it's proper.
Captain Crunch is a fucking wonderful froyo add-on.
It really is.
And it's lightweight. So when you weigh the shit, it's not like $12.
No, you're not getting killed on it.
You're not getting.
And if you want to get real fresh with it, you get to the bottom of the thing and scoop out the dust, and then mix that in so you don't wreck the top of your mouth.
Oh, yeah, it's a little jagged. You get little cuts on
notorious for that.
The gum line cuts. You're like, damn. Like,
the whole roof of your mouth is just jacked.
Yeah, have you ever do mouthwash after you eat that shit? You're like, oh, this is stinging actually.
Yeah, especially you go Listerine.
This is the content you don't get on other rap pods. I listen to them all. No one talks about this shit like we do.
No, nobody's bringing you real life examples of shit. They're just talking about like Dilla.
They're like Jay Dilla. Wow. Master Ace. He's had some good albums, right? Yep.
He has.
But but he ain't fucking with peanut butter M&Ms or the Captain Crunch on top of the froyo.
Not even a little bit, you know what I mean?
Can't with it. But anyway, that's not here nor there. We're also talking about with no podcast.
Sorry, one last candy thing. Have you ever tried the Junior Mint caramels?
Junior Mint caramel.
So they do Junior caramels?
I'll be honest with you. The Junior Mint has never been in my purview.
Oh, no, I don't fuck with Junior Mints, but the Junior caramels.
Junior caramels.
It's chocolate with like a caramel ball. It's almost like a Milk Dud, but Junior Mint style.
Okay. I'll give it a whirl.
Softer caramel. It's pretty proper.
I would eat that at the movies. That's like a movie.
Yeah,
like
the movies.
The movie snacks, I get a little more adventurous than my day-to-day, understanding what I like. But I would fuck with that. All right. I'll keep it on the agenda.
It's worth it. If you see it, grab one. It comes in the movie size box.
Oh, and recently we took my son to a petting zoo farm in South Jersey. And on the way back, we stopped at Wawa and got him some combos for the first time.
Oh.
He wasn't a fan of the combo.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. I get why one would be a fan of the combo, but it might be a little bit too much for a young palate.
Yeah, so he had the regular combo, and then I had the pepperoni pizza combo, which I fucking wolfed that down in 40 seconds
gave
flat.
Wicked heartburn afterwards.
Oof, insane heartburn. And, without a doubt,
like 3, you felt it. You're like, God,
you're done.
It's gonna hurt.
Yeah, it was. But then I lucked out because he didn't like it. Then I could eat his combos for snacks the rest of the week.
Nice.
And now I feel bad. But anyway, Snowfall. Neither here nor there.
Snowfall. Yeah.
Snowfall. I never got heartburn watching Snowfall. It's about drugs.
It's about drugs.
So this season has been incredible because, like Annie and Alaska and I have one shots about Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. The drug empire, right?
Yeah.
As a trope and in a real life thing. There's always the amazing ascent where like you see these guys whooping everyone's ass and getting rich and wiping out their competitors and being above the law and figuring it out. Even like Narcos, you know what I mean? Which is the coolest part. Like watching years and seasons of watching like Pablo Escobar always be one step ahead.
Yeah.
Watching Franklin Saint and the family and Jerome and all them, like, and Teddy, like, okay, Rome is going to burn. It's going to fall apart. So this season is like,
it's going to come to a head.
Right. And there's always going to be a war or some shit. So this season was cool to see, okay, how do we get, like, what would happen to get to where everything starts getting fractured? And so the greed aspect, and then I mean, what's kind of weird to me about Franklin was the new girlfriend, Veronique or some shit.
Yeah.
Like how they just throw her in the mix of like, she's his girlfriend. They're pregnant. She knows about all the dirt. She's like a logistical, like buying and selling real estate person who knows the laws
Mm-hmm.
and is like quite okay with her boyfriend being the biggest fucking drug deal on the West Coast. Like it was, I don't really understand her character. I still don't get it.
Yeah. I mean, I think she was almost like the hope, right? Like the thing that would pull him out of the game.
Right.
Yeah. That would like get him to be like, all right, I got to be done with this. Because when it started off, it was on some like real tranquil shit when it started off, right? They finished last season. They got rid of Man Boy's whole crew.
Yep. And the girl that was a double agent. She was working for them.
She was working for them. And they started like the whole Scully thing started off.
Scully, yes.
But I don't remember how it ended, if they got to a point with him where it was like a truce, or did that start this season?
I think that might have been the end of last season, was the truce.
Yeah.
Because Scully's daughter got killed.
Yeah.
His wife got killed. Man Boy got wiped out. And then no one on Franklin's side really got it, did they?
No, nobody caught it.
So yeah, it's a truce. I feel like that's a wild card for the next season.
I think so too. Yeah.
Scully is like, put him, yeah. Oh,
they got him in pocket.
One of Lee's guys ate it after the whole shooting of the little girl, but no major person in Franklin's organization got it. Still, and then we all know about Peaches, still the bodyguard. Yeah. If he just has the monster and he's wilding out because it's 83 or whatever, 84, or if he's flipping. Like this is the time too when like people just dealing with snitches and rats and DA, covert witnesses and all that type of shit, which happens always, and it's always the people you don't think. Yeah, the ones doing it. So I thought that was cool too, just seeing like how everyone is cutting deals, or they're aware of like that's an opportunity. Like I have that capability now to do that type of shit.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like for those that don't know, Peaches was like a member of the crew.
Right.
He was like one of Franklin's bodyguards, more or less. And he ended up ripping him off. But I feel like he's going to come back in season 6 in some way, shape, or form.
Yes. And he's played by D-Ray, who's all up in the Kanye Genius documentary.
Mm-hmm.
And he's in the Through the Wire video. Great comedian. And he was in the Fat Tuesday documentary.
Yeah.
Very briefly, but he's in it. He's been great. He's awesome. Yeah. I think too, like I think what's interesting too was like watching how unfucking hinged Teddy became this season.
Yep.
And I'd be curious to see what the historical reference they used for Teddy to get to this point where like he literally has someone else raising his kid. His ex-wife wants nothing to do with him. The government really doesn't want anything to do with this fucking guy. And he's like trying to provide value to stay in the game because this is his life. He has nothing to go home to.
He has nothing. Yeah.
So it's like he has to keep moving weight to Franklin to keep funding the Nicaraguan resistance to prove like, hey, fuck with me, I got it. And it's like, but he has nothing. He just became very loathsome this season to me in a way that
he really did. Yeah.
Yeah. Like even in the beginning when he wiped out the new connect that they gave Franklin, you know what I mean? It was like it reminded me almost like Walt. And then when they killed Gale, where it's like, there is no new connect. I'm going to wipe this guy out. You still got to go through me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was my Teddy thing this season was like, he's on a highway to hell, bro. Like he
is. Yeah. The thing with Teddy is like, I feel like he's overplaying his hand, but nobody else realizes that yet.
Yes.
Right. Like, cause they all still see him as CIA and they still assume that he has his in with them. Yep. But I feel like they want to be done with him just as much as everybody else does. And, if he was taken off the board by someone else, all the better for them to wipe their hands. Boom.
Fuck yeah.
He's gone.
He's So the last part when Sissy was talking to Homeboy, or talking about that guy who wiped out what's my man with the mustache? Avi, right? When he wiped out Avi, and Avi was giving him all the fucking dirt on Teddy, where he was like, yo, they cut him off, they did this to him. Like he's fronting. Everything he's doing is a front. Like this guy is not right. He is not where he was 6 months ago. When Homeboy wiped him out, and it's like, okay, what, and he's a Spanish dude, so you're thinking like you would never think he's KGB Russian out, right?
Yeah.
When Sissy said that, she's like, yo, I got a friends at KGB, we could take this motherfucker down. It then pulled me into another FX property, The Americans.
The Americans, yeah. There's a lot of Americans.
Yes.
Elements there, yeah.
Yeah, where I was like, okay, like you could, I mean, now we are in the Cold War in American history. Like you could pull in the KGB and the Russian shit to blow up the spot. And as we know in real life, even Putin out, like they love nothing more to be like, see, America, you are a fucking mess. You're like you're poisoning your own people to come fuck with us. Like you're willing to destroy your own citizens to beat us.
Entire communities.
Yes. You're willing to fund this thing in order to make us look like shit, but you look like shit. And that's all that matters is you look like shit. You know what I mean? And I think like that's the cool angle that they could play. What did you think about when Franklin lost his 73 million?
What do you mean as far as just like
he makes the call? Yeah, like the whole move. Like Teddy trying to be like, oh, I don't know. Oh, that's a shame. I didn't take your money. And
I couldn't think of a more hateful person in the world at that moment. But wait, I just want to go back to one thing real quick that you said about the Americans. What if the couple from the Americans end up in next season, and this is all part of the American multiverse?
That would be, Kerry Russell, man. Let me tell you something.
Yeah,
I wasn't fucking with Felicity and the whole WBCW universe. She kicked off with Dawson's Creek and all that. I wasn't fucking. I was in high school. I thought that shit was weak, right? When I saw her in the Americans, I was like, yo, she's wild fucking sexy right now all of a sudden, because she's just doing dirt in that show. She's like one of the first scenes, she's like she's pleasuring a man in a very specific way where I was like, wow, like that is racy for fucking cable. Well, holy shit. But she's such a G about everything, where if she popped up on the next season, I'd be like, yep, you guys made it. She's the final boss. Her and the husband. That'd be
the best, wouldn't it?
Yeah, like because it's funny because when I was watching Black Widow last year in the theater, that was like my first movie experience after during COVID, and I was like, I don't think you saw Black Widow, did you?
I didn't know.
Okay, Black Widow's like, it's such a cool fucking movie, but it's just it's released like 3 years late. You're like, well, like you said about Saul, like I kind of know how this fucking ends. No shit.
Yeah.
But it's cool watching for the whole cast. But anyway, there's the first 15 minutes is like the Americans part 2.
Okay.
I mean, it's like you're like, oh, this is some like sleeper cell shit. But they get the fucking call, like, we gotta get out of here. We got 60 seconds to get the fuck out of here. So when Sissy was like, oh, I know I got friends at the KGB when I was in Cuba, I was like, oh my God, like this is what they want nothing more than to have Franklin Saint on their team. It's like getting your rivals pissed off homegrown talent to come to your team.
Come to your team with the playbooks.
Oh my God.
Yeah. This shit. So yeah, sorry, that was a weird aside, but when Teddy was playing that coy shit, I was just like, this motherfucker.
He's such an asshole.
He is a real asshole. But it really did something for me, like that whole shit with Franklin. Because I was kind of tired of Franklin this season, right? I was like, this season's all about Louis.
Yeah, he's a background guy this season.
Yeah. And then once he snaps, I was like, that's the motherfucker right there. He became what he was trying to fight becoming.
Yes.
And it was just beautiful.
When he when he decided, to go down this route early on, right? It's because he was kind of weak, right?
Yeah.
He would always surround himself with like scary or dangerous dudes.
Yeah.
And then he started realizing like how dangerous he could become and then be protected and then all that shit, right? And then this season, after the Scully stuff, it's like he really didn't have to do that. There's no like worthy adversary for him to G up on. But I felt like when he said to his mom, he was like, "What I've become isn't your fault. Like you didn't do this."
Yeah.
I was like, "Well, she did." You're wrong because she's a part of the fucking organization. Like she didn't turn you in. She didn't shoot you like fucking Jungle Fever. You know what I mean? Like she didn't
put you on an island.
Yeah, like that's not true. She actually is quite responsible as an active parent myself. But when he was just like, I tried to be compassionate and I tried to be merciful, and look what that got me, right?
Yeah.
And at that moment, I thought to myself, what is $73 million worth in 1984? What's that worth?
I'd say it's got to be close to at least $500 million.
Okay, so I'll look it up while we're talking, right?
Okay.
So it's $73 million, and I'm guessing that I'm not sure what year the show is, right?
86 this year.
19. That it was. Oh yeah.
Yeah, this season kicks it off in 86.
Worth in 2022. Okay, so that's worth. Let's see what it says. Is it $100? That can't be accurate. 100. Okay, here we go. Ready? 70. I'm on like an inflation adjustment calendar. Oh, wait, I gotta actually the whole number you have to enter in. Hold on a second. 73 mil. Oh my god, this is annoying. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
So the purchasing power.
118. It's 191 today. That's where the
okay. I got 262 today.
Sure, 26. All right, let's go with that.
Yeah.
So he's sitting on $262 million today.
Yeah.
What do you do to get that money back? Whether it's 262 or 73 million, and it's all ill-gotten gains. What do you do?
Yeah. I mean, you do what he did. Because what else can you do?
But the government has it, or we think
has it.
He thinks the government has it, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean,
it's like the David Bowie shit. It's like what I said on Career Crow. You can't steal from a thief.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I mean, he did what Teddy did to him. Because he hit up all of Louis and Rome spots. It was like, this is mine now. I got this for you. It's mine now.
Wow.
Because, he asked them for the help. And she was like, no. And I think she was right to tell him no.
Why do you think that?
Because he shit on her nonstop. He didn't value her for what she could bring to the table.
True.
She was constantly dealing with people like that her whole life. I see people like making her into a villain.
Nah, man.
And no, but
she's a boss bitch.
He treated her like shit. She expanded the operation nationwide.
The Alabama hookup, banging in Little Rock.
Banging in Little Rock, you know what I mean? You're gonna have like the dude like with the Uzi fucking forgot what that dude's name was. But
Uzi does it, man. Holy
the little
shit.
white dude with the Uzi.
Little pistol starter.
she made this organization bigger than it ever would have been.
Right.
And he was not giving her props. He talked to her like a fucking servant. I mean, how many times did he get in her face and just scream on her in front of people?
True.
You know what I mean? And every time she asked him, she was like, I have an idea. I want to try to do this. He was like, fuck no.
Yeah.
And he only was kind to her when he needed something.
It was like Puffy and like Uptown Records. You know what I mean? Like he brings them fucking Mary J. Jodeci. He takes the whole Jack in a Sample style. He brings it to them from Ron G. Like that whole style is all Puff.
Yeah.
And it's like, he's fucking with Heavy D and all them. And he's like, all right, well, I mean, guess I got to start Bad Boy. Like you guys really don't want to give me the keys to the castle over here.
Yeah, I'm making you millions.
Yeah, like god damn, like what? There's no way Andre Harrell is greenlighting a fucking Jodeci album on his own.
No.
Or what's the 411 with Grand Pooba? He's not
Yeah.
greenlighting that shit. He's
No.
gonna be like, yo,
And,
put Father MC on this song. You know what I mean? Like he's gonna do some corny shit.
and Puff was right.
Correct.
And I think we'll find out if Louis was right. I mean, now the thing that Louis has that she never had before is she has to serve two masters.
Right?
Because now she has to serve Teddy.
That's the problem.
Yeah. And Franklin it's the first time Franklin's free.
I think his freedom. So I thought the episode, which I thought was kind of fucking cartoonish and schlocky, with him and Oso with the tiger cage.
Yeah.
The whole tiger thing I thought was just like
it was
kind of fucking. It was just here. Okay, here's my overall thing real quick.
Okay.
When shows and movies, and this was my issue with that movie Nobody. This was my issue with Breaking Bad, and spoilers within. When shows and movies dedicate so much time to being like, this is real. This is a gritty, real thing, right?
Yeah.
This is not histrionics. This is not Michael Bay. This is not explosions happening everywhere. This is like a very true to life thing. When you push that down my throat, and then all of a sudden you flip it and it's like, actually, this cartoonish wild nonsense can happen too. I'm like, well, no, it can't. Like, you've broken the rules. Yes. So the whole thing about the show, everything about it with, like we said, the CIA stuff and all that, to have an episode where they get kidnapped by a dude with like a live tiger in his yard in LA, who then comes back to eat the man and then eat their opponents, but not them. I was like, this is
yeah, no.
And it's CGI'd the whole time. It's just so wacky. It doesn't really fit. Like, you could have put Oso and Franklin on a bottle episode in a million ways.
Yeah.
It doesn't end with a tiger eating gangbangers in LA. You know what I mean?
It almost felt like they wrote themselves into a corner and couldn't get out.
Yeah, like it just maybe we're not from LA. Maybe it's based on like a famous LA incident of a guy who had a fucking or the fucking Tiger King, or even a dude from the Arm & Hammer shit with shrines.
Yeah.
The Tiger King of Harlem, whatever he was. Maybe that's a thing, right? And we're just oblivious. But that really, really threw me off. But I say that to say the Oso and Franklin thing now is like locked in, where they spent all season trading notes being like, yo, Teddy's fucking wilding. He's a fucking loose cannon. And that episode gave them that bond to be like, you're go with me, I'm go with you. Teddy's not go with me. He's not go with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I didn't need like a CGI tiger. That was really fucking bizarre.
So apparently there was a place in LA from 1970 to 1984 called the Lion Country Safari in Laguna Hills.
Just the LA.
Yeah, and it was closed down in 84, and some of the gamekeepers took the animals.
There we go. Okay.
So that's a reference to that.
It had to have been like, that's such a wacky left field thing to throw in this show out of nowhere. And then, and the other thing is like the weirdo night nurse who like masturbates to Teddy being sedated.
Oh yeah, that was just weird.
That's
too.
just like, what is that? I don't get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
there were some red flags about where the season could end up going.
Yeah,
that hopefully this finale kind of hopefully nailed them shut, because the finale sets the stage for some wild shit. But
what'd you think of the LSD episode?
I enjoyed it quite a bit.
It was wonderful.
Yeah. That was the one that brought me back too, because I was just a little bit like, eh. I mean,
yeah, the tiger shit threw me off. I was like, I don't
tiger
know.
Shit really threw me off. And then the Peaches episode was cool, like kind of hunting him down and seeing what's up, but it went nowhere.
No real payoff. There was no
payoff.
I will say about the Peaches episode, I got emotional watching Jerome be still in his life for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
The koi fish and the trees,
yep.
His life has been a fucking revolving door of neighborhood drug shit, speaker store, drug kingpin, expanding the operation, Louis, nightclubs. It's just been so much shit for him to just have to stop and do nothing and just be present in his own feelings. I love that. Like that. That dude who plays Jerome. I forget. I don't know the actor's name.
His
That was
name's
like
Amin Joseph.
Yeah, like he carried that. That was like his episode, and he was incredible. You know what I mean? Like
He was like low key the star of the season, like
God,
acting
great.
wise.
He's great,
Because
man.
it was amazing, and he's really like gone nice from like in the very beginning. He was just very big
Yes,
and
he's
sort
very
of
imposing.
like boisterous. You know what I mean? And he's gotten very good at like just every season playing smaller.
Good point.
You know, he still has those moments, but it's like he does little things now that are just like brilliant. It's just like, wow.
He's
He's
great
fucking great.
Yeah, he is
Yeah.
a great fucking because he was kind of like the neighborhood imposing goon.
Yeah.
And like the cool uncle.
Yeah.
And then with the drug shit, it was like Franklin was, inventing crack and starting all this shit. And he was like, yeah, but I'm like the street level muscle guy. Like you're the brains of the shit, but I'm the guy that's like credible for you to do this.
Yeah.
And then Louis stepped in and she's like, I'm actually going to make this like almost a corporation. Like we're going to do this over here and do that. So he kind of like jumped on for the ride with her.
Yeah.
And then this season, it's like he's all about her, and Franklin's like his nephew, but now they're nemesis. Clearly, however, you're right.
Yeah.
He's no longer like I thought he was kind of a buffoon early on.
Yeah,
just like a dumb jock, like a neighborhood jock.
Yeah,
and now he's like this real dude. Where remember he was saying like we need to do something we need to do something with our lives. Like what are we gonna do for our people? Like I got to get back to who I was, whether it's selling speakers or like there's that one clip, one small thing of him going back to the original house they had where dudes were lifting weights.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, like I want to see what that becomes if that's his thing. Like elevate. Like, I think he wants to like take the dumb guys in the hood that were good in football 6 years ago or 10 years ago when they were in high school and like give them a path.
That was
great. What he was, you know what I mean? He wasn't doing shit.
No, he had a great season.
I want to say, oh yeah, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I want to hear about it.
I was gonna say Gustavo had a great season as well.
Yo,
Oso.
Whew.
Yeah,
he was on some shit. He was phenomenal. He was another one. He had a quiet year.
Yeah,
very quiet.
Strong.
He was very strong. Yeah, it was like it was one of them dudes like you look up when you do fantasy and shit. And you look up like, yo, it was like a baseball player like. This motherfucker hit 310 last year. Oh my god!
Yeah,
I didn't even know that. Dude. Oh shit! Like this dude at 310. Oh, I'll take it. Lee, I didn't like him this season, dude.
I didn't either. It was too like, I don't know. It was. If you notice, like a lot of John Singleton films, and I know he's rest in peace.
Yes. Rest in peace.
He's moved on. I don't know if this was his vision for the character, but. It feels like a very John Singleton, like heavy-handed message character.
I agree.
Yeah. And I mean, I actually never really liked Lee all that much, to be honest with you.
I can feel that. I thought he was good as your knucklehead ass friend.
Yeah.
That this is gonna be a disaster pulling him into certain shit.
Yeah.
But Leon is like your day one. So it's like, well,
yeah, you gotta bring him in.
He's the hothead in the group, and if there's anything remotely involved with like a conflict, he's gonna escalate this guy.
Yeah.
But to all of a sudden like make a sharp U-turn where he's like a revolutionary, like Marxist, pro-black, Black Panther. It was a very odd way, and I get what they want to show him, like you said, like in a very John Singleton way. Like he's a guy that wants to get out and has a lot of remorse and is ashamed of what he's contributed. But it was just he became very one note this year.
Yeah, he did.
Like out of nowhere to me. I didn't really
It wasn't very believable.
Yeah, like if his dad, if his parents were Franklin's parents, where they were former Black Panthers, I'm like, I get it. He's like, hey, you guys were onto something. Maybe we should go back to that.
Yeah.
but he doesn't have those type. It was weird. Like there's no one in that show on that wavelength to be like, oh, he's following their footsteps.
Yeah, no, it was weird.
Yeah, I was not a fan of Leon.
On the other side, though, Wanda had a great season.
Man, Wanda.
I really liked her this season.
She was phenomenal.
Yeah.
She was great.
Amazing. Like a real nice redemption arc for her.
Yeah, it reminded me of Bubbles on the Wire, which took, probably the same amount of time, where it's like you're watching this person be down so much and like do heinous shit and just kind of degrade themselves and be looked down upon, spat upon, and then there's just on the redemption arc where it's like, hey, they're actually really likable and capable. You know what I mean? It's like they can offer value somewhere. To see her, I did like him asking her to go with him to
I did.
Africa.
I thought that was a great scene between the two of them.
Yeah, like that was really fucking cool. If he would have been on that type of shit, just that.
Yeah.
And then he just like, you know what? I just never left this neighborhood. I never left anywhere. Let's just take a fucking trip to Africa, wherever we're gonna go. And then he comes back and he's like, yes. And then he comes back and like, what am I doing here? Like if they would have started the season with him doing that with her, I mean,
that would have made a lot more sense.
It would have made more sense for him. I like her having her own arc of like being a sex operator, phone sex line, and and then doing her own thing, and then living in Franklin's old house and working for them eventually, like collecting rent.
Yeah, that was really nice. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, she was a shit. And then Scully didn't have a lot to do this year because he's just
he's amazing.
He's just him fucking up the wedding. It's just
Yeah, I mean, we danced around it a little bit. Like, why don't we just talk about that episode in general?
So you never watched Mad Men, right?
Oh, of course I did.
You did watch Mad Men. Remember the LSD episode?
Yeah, it was great.
When Roger's in the fucking bathtub.
Yeah.
It reminded me of that, where it's like they didn't go that extreme with the visual effects, but putting you in that space very effectively of a person tripping the fuck out. It was really good.
They did a great job getting all aspects of it. Right? Like just having a great time. Mm-hmm. Like, cause sometimes that's what it is. Just a great time.
Yeah.
Other times it's just like off on your own being introspective.
Right.
And other times it's a fucking nightmare.
Or like one couple just having sex in the middle of a country club, middle of the day.
Yeah.
Or then like I like the beginning of it when Franklin, who's just never done drugs, is like looking for a squirrel under a table and shit, and hugging people and sweating.
And I just love the way that Scully walked out. He was like, "I hope y'all have fun."
Yeah, there's a gift for your family. He's like, "Okay, man." Because remember, he asked her, he's like, "What's in this? The fondue?" She's like, "Oh, chocolate and strawberries." Like you dip them in there. Yeah. And then remember, because Franklin wouldn't drink, she's like, "Oh, just eat like 5 of these strawberries."
Yeah, and he got him.
I mean, so let me ask you this: do you think Teddy ripped him off because Franklin made the call to him and said he's going to kill him?
I think actually, like it was more last week when he was like, "I'm out."
So you think he stole $73 million off that?
I think that was the final straw.
But I think it was the LSD episode where he's like, "Wait a second." And remember afterwards, he's like, "Oh no, we were all fucked up," and he was like, "You don't say that shit to somebody."
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I guess I'm sort of conflating the two into one sort of thing, but yeah, I think that's part of it. Mm-hmm. But I do think he no longer had control over him, and it's the only way he could have control over him.
Yeah, god damn. Teddy is a dastardly fuck. Like I liked him a lot the first few seasons, even though you watched him like work himself into oblivion and fuck everything up. But now I'm just like, yo,
I can't wait for him to die.
Oh god, I want him to die so bad in the show where he's because he's caught up in this righteous. Remember, he called homeboy. He's like, "Well, we have $73 million to disperse for the cause."
Yeah,
and he makes me sick because he shovels in his bullshit behind the cause.
Yeah. Oh, he thinks he's a good guy.
Yeah, and I'm like, but you don't do, like, you have nothing else in your life.
Yeah, no.
And you like the game, like you like fucking with these people and setting up meetings and moving product and like jerking them around with the price of the key and all these things. Like,
yeah, you like making people dance for you.
Yeah, like he's a fucking asshole. Like, and man,
He's a sack of shit.
and when Oso was like checking him, and he was looking at Oso crazy, like, why are you saying this to me?
Yeah.
And Oso was like, yeah, because you're being a dickhead. And he's like,
Yeah.
oh no, man, that's just that's a game. Like he looked at him like, yeah, but these people are meant to be exploited on some like record label shit in the 90s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like 80s,
Yeah.
90s. Like, what do you mean they want more money? Like Gloria Estefan sold 10 million. I gave her $30,000. The fuck you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
So do you think he turned in Oso?
Great question.
Because I mean, I know that the agent
Yes.
was there who was trying to get him earlier, but
Yes. Good. Yes, he yes. Teddy is the type like he's the type like to put the kerosene and then set the bitch on fire and walk away. Like, man, someone should clean that up.
yeah,
Like he's always been on that lane of like he makes a fucking mess and then but then he decides to destroy it before someone else and then he can walk away like, oh
yeah,
I smell like roses. Yeah, because all season Oso kept looking at him like, yo, you're kind of bugging. Like, what are you doing?
Yep.
And then after they had the episode with him and Franklin, we talked about where Franklin was like, yo, you were watching me. I didn't like that shit. And he's like, what are you talking about watching you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like shit like that was adding up to Oso being like, I'd be curious to see what happens when he said he had $10 million stashed.
Well, they grabbed it.
They did?
When he got busted. Yeah, he got busted. He had the truck was full of it, and then there was still more in the storage unit.
Oh, yeah, it's Teddy.
Yeah, it's gotta be Teddy, right?
Teddy's a fuck, man. Oh,
he's a sack of shit. I can't wait for him to die.
I mean, it's like the show makes you now sympathetic to people that created crack to destroy a whole generation of people, right?
Yeah,
but they're like the sympathetic characters now.
Yeah. Well, I think one thing that's going to be interesting next year is so Franklin's free, right?
He's in the clear. Yep.
He went to Kane. He's linked up with Kane's people.
We got to talk about Kane.
We can. Let me just finish this because I think we need to talk about new characters.
All right. We'll how about we'll wrap up this and we'll do a break and then
take a break.
There you go.
Yeah. So next season, Franklin's going to be free. He's going to likely be linked up with Kane and his people.
And maybe Scully.
Scully, I think, is going to be loyal to Louis and
True. And Jerome.
I'm blanking on his name.
Jerome,
yeah. Louis and Jerome. But Louis is also going to have to, because Teddy's not going to give a shit about it.
Nope.
And Teddy's shit is in chaos right now because he lost his arms supplier.
True.
So he's going to put Louis through the ringer. So she's going to have to deal with all that shit while Franklin is just free to fucking wreak havoc.
Yes.
You know, so that's going to be really interesting to see how that plays out.
It opens up a lot of possibilities, and then we'll do the break now, and we'll talk new characters and probably wrap up. But yeah, that's Kane, man. Oh
yeah,
he's ill. All right, Co-op Culture with Alaska and Zilla, Curly Castro on the mend as usual, doing his thing, feeling good, feeling great. We'll be back talking Snowfall.
Shablam, shablow. Are the four elements keeping you down? Do you find yourself cutting your fingers every time you work on a flyer or an insert? Are you tired of being asked to boost your ads or buy ad space? Well, the boys at Griff Company, we have the solution for you. Now, all jokes aside, this is Wrecking Crew consultation. If you think that your hip-hop career can use a battery burst, do you feel like you want to have some type of counsel and a soundboard, or do you just need a good old pep talk? We can help you out here. Zilla Rocca and myself, Curly Castro, we are offering our consulting services at nominal fees. So if that's something you're interested in, shoot us an email, give us a call, and we'll help you out. Tell me, when was the first time you fell in love with hip-hop?
It's that time again, we're back. Career Crooks, me and Small Professor. New album, Never at Peace, available now worldwide, streaming on all platforms. Very, very, very limited pieces of merch left. You can scoop it at wreckingcrew.bandcamp.com. If you've heard the Live from the Liner Notes episode, you know what it is, you know what we're about. If you haven't, go back and peep it. Play the new record featuring Shrapnel, I Alive, and Donovan Days, Blueprint, DJ Manipulator, and That's All She Wrote. New banger, me and Small Pro, Never at Peace, Career Crooks, available now.
Cool, man. Culture. We're back. Alaska just stumbled on some shit he wants to share.
So, I mean, maybe this is common knowledge. I have no idea, but so we're speaking about new characters.
Correct.
We're talking about Kane.
Love Kane.
Kane's amazing.
Yeah, Norm Nixon on Winning Time. That's my man.
Do you know who his dad is?
Norm Nixon.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, where you been, man?
And his mom is Debbie Allen.
Debbie, that's who his mom is. Oh my God.
Yeah.
He looks more like Debbie Allen.
Yeah, but I was like, wait, he's playing his dad? That's dope.
Yeah, how cool is that, right?
That's amazing.
Yeah,
he's
a
like
great
Ice
actor.
Cube's kid. Oh,
yeah.
he's having a year right now, man.
What's he been in? Ice Cube's kid.
Oh, Ice Cube played Ice Cube in the NWA movie.
Yeah. And he was in a horror movie, wasn't he?
I think so. He's been in quite a bit of stuff.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at pictures of Norm Nixon. His son looks actually exactly like him. Not
Does
Debbie
he?
Allen. Yeah, it's creepy. He looks exactly like his dad.
That's amazing. All right, let's see. What has he been in? We're going off on something completely because I'm looking at Ice Cube's son to see what he's
O'Shea Jackson Jr. He was in a horror movie. He was in
He's going to be in Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Woo.
He was in a movie called Swagger, The Now.
He was in Ingrid Goes West. That was dope.
He was in Godzilla, King of Monsters.
Yes, he was in that shit. Yep. I like him in that. He was good.
He's been on what's Ingrid Goes West?
Oh, dude, it's with Aubrey Plaza. You never saw that?
No.
Oh, Ingrid Goes West. Okay. Very, very quickly. It's about a girl who becomes obsessed with some shitty, vapid Instagram influencer on the West Coast. And her mother dies and she gets an inheritance. So she goes to the West Coast and stalks this influencer to become an influencer.
Wow.
It is fucking awesome. Highly recommend Ingrid Goes West.
I'll check it.
And it was like his first like indie movie. You know what I mean? After you do a big movie, you gotta do like an indie movie. He was in that shit.
Yeah. So he was in Drunk History.
That's awesome.
And he played Cool Herc.
He's got give him the mutton chops, man. He could pull it off.
How great is that?
He's gonna be in Den of Thieves too. Okay.
He was in the original Den of Thieves.
Wow, I never saw that.
Yeah, I never did either. I had to look it up. I was like, isn't that like
Yeah, dude. Yo, Ingrid Goes West is a fucking Aubrey Plaza, man. Yo, she did this other movie my wife and I watched. She was amazing on Legion. Holy, yo. Marvel would never have the fucking balls to do what FX did with Legion. I just want to say that real quick. Legion is unreal.
Yeah.
Real quick, I want to see. There was a movie my wife and I watched. We watched it on demand randomly because she was in it. It's called it's a very inconspicuous title. Oh, where the fuck is this movie called? Criminal Black Bear. Oh my God. Dog Black Bear. Yo. I won't, listeners, everybody out there, go watch Black Bear with Aubrey Plaza. I'm not going to tell you shit about this movie.
Okay.
It is a fucking blast. It is a thrill. It is in ways you can't even figure out. It's wonderful. She's a tour de force. So yeah, go fuck with Aubrey Plaza.
Do it.
Yeah, there you go. So Norm Nixon,
he was in. There's a couple of things that you just need to know what he was in, because he was a child actor.
Oh.
So he was in Terminator 2: Judgment Day.
O'Shea Jackson?
No. Devon Nixon. King.
Oh shit, he was.
Yeah, so he was Danny Dyson. So what was that? That was
he was what's his name's son. Right? Yeah. My man, what's Homeboy's name? Who invented fucking Skynet?
Yeah, I can't. Joe something.
Yo, he walked by me. My first time ever being in New York, like just chilling out. He walked by me on the street. I was like blown away.
Nice.
I was like, oh shit, I was in Manhattan.
He was in Sugar Hill. He played Raytheon, age 11, or Ray Nathan, age 11.
Wow, Ray Nathan.
Yeah, he was in The Bodyguard. He played Fletcher.
Oh, he was what's his name's son?
He was in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He played Shaquille.
He was getting it in.
He was doing some shit, man. And then he was
Wow.
like in a bunch of like Disney stuff and just a bunch of TV work after that.
The Hard Times of R.J. Berger.
You know what I mean? He was on Josh and Drake, The Secret Life of Josh and Drake, or whatever the fuck that shit was called.
Whatever the fuck that is. The Hewleys, the D.L. Hewley show. Wow.
Yep, the Hulu show. He was on Runaways.
Lizzie McGuire.
But the run he's having right now,
He's crushing.
Kane and Norm Nixon.
Man.
So
he's great. He's great on as Norm Nixon.
He's amazing. And then there's another new character. Buckley. I fucking hate Buckley.
Wait, which one's Buckley?
The cop.
Oh. You know why you said that threw me off? Because there's a character on the flight attendant named Buckley, and he's a new character.
Okay.
I don't like him.
I don't like the actor. I don't like the way he talks. I don't like the way he acts.
He's always sweating.
Always sweating. And he's just like,
I don't like him.
No, he seems like he should be like on a Canadian TV show or something.
He's just too extra all the time.
Yeah.
Even if he's in a club, he's extra. When he's doing crooked cop shit, he's always letting you know I'm a filthy fucking sweaty man.
But he's also letting you know, like, I'm an actor. Like the way I say my lines, I'm an actor.
Yeah,
it's just shitty acting.
He's definitely not from America, because he's what a British or Australian person thinks like a tough cop is. You know what I mean? 100%. Like there's no way this dude's from America.
No.
There's no way.
Let's look him up and see.
Yeah, like
his name is Brendan J. McLaren.
Yeah, this motherfucker went to Cambridge, bro. He studied at Cambridge.
I called it. I said he sounds like a Canadian actor. He's a Canadian actor.
He's not from America. What did I say?
No,
not from America.
Yeah.
You are not American. Whereas like Devon Nixon as Kane, okay, the scene where Kane has the fucking the wave cap on at the basketball game.
Oh my God.
That is some G shit where he's mildly annoyed about the conversation, but he's been waiting for the conversation, and at no point when he's telling Lee or what's the name or Franklin in their face, like, you killed my little brother and I had to go at you in your whole fucking situation, like, it was so matter of fact. I was like, this dude's terrifying. Yeah, nothing about him had any register of emotion. No,
I mean, it was just amazing. And then seeing him the very next week is when I started watching Winning Time. I was like, oh my God. Yep. But real quick, did you watch that show, The Killing?
Yes. With Homegirl?
Do you remember the suspect who was the teacher?
Oh my God, that's him. The dreads? Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
And they thought he was fucking the girl that got killed, Rosie, whatever her name is.
Yes.
My man Joel McKinnon was on that shit.
Yep.
Yo,
McKinnon and
let me tell you this
I can't remember girls
about that show. At the time I was watching that show live, I was like, this dude is amazing. He's like a Swedish actor.
Oh, he's amazing.
He was the first dude that looked like a regular ass guy whose only gift is being a detective.
Yeah.
Like, he was so convincing in that show where I was like, I'd never seen the archetype of like, this guy could have literally any job. He could work at Home Depot. He could be an electrician. He could be a fucking Lincoln Tech grad installing air conditioners. He just happens to be this fucking amazing detective.
Yep.
Like, that guy, every week I was always blown away at how good he was. And then the wife was in World War Z. She was Brad Pitt's wife.
Yeah. Yeah. She was solid too.
She was fine. Yeah. She always had like the fucking turtlenecks on.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, that show is cool. It's just kind of like lost steam after a while, but
the first two seasons were good. Then it was like,
phenomenal. Yeah,
that dude is killing it.
Devon
Nixon is killing it.
Yeah, the Kane angle is good because they brought him in midway in the season. You think like, oh, he's gonna wreck up shop, and then he's kind of gone. And then at the very end, Franklin walks in like Louis did that shit.
Dude, the scene where they were walking down the hall.
And the fucking Phil Collins shit.
That shit was like, I got hype. Like, I haven't gotten hype on a TV show in a while. I was like, oh, I'm in.
He just walks in. He's got an arm behind his back. He's like, "Yeah, man, it's a shame what happened to you, man. I'm sorry it's happened to you." Anyway,
yeah.
Louis did that shit. Walked the fuck out, and his heart rate started going up. I was like, "Oh man."
That's the cool Franklin tell when he knows he's won.
Yeah.
Where he puts his hands behind his back.
Yep.
And just
He
sort
did
of
the
leans
homegirl at that fucking church in Texas.
Yeah.
When he caught up with her.
Yeah.
Because he was like playing the Kaiser Soze shit with the cane.
Yep.
Yeah. He every season needs to end with him winning, like Larry David on Curb. Every season of Curb, like Larry's been shit on all season. At the end, he wins.
Yeah.
It's the best. Yeah.
It's really good.
Rules. Yeah. He's good when he's just outclassing people, just figured it out. You know what I mean? He's
because sometimes like when he gets really angry, it's a bit like overactory.
Yeah, he's like the nerd that like thinks tough guys do this, so he should do it. Versus just being like on some Sherlock Holmes shit. Like, I already figured this out. Like, it's cool.
Yeah.
I'll break it down for you real quick. You want to know how I figured it out? Here, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
You know, versus like punching the fucking mirror and being all emotional. Like,
throwing his stereo equipment on the floor.
Yeah, like no time for that.
But from the scene after he talks with his mom and he meets up with who are the stripper killers? I can't remember their names.
Homegirls, man.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
They're amazing.
And they just start wasting everybody that's guarding everything. When they walk into the one stash house and they're like, God damn, he's like, oh, this is like half of what I lost. Like, this ain't even shit. Like, he's just annoyed. You know what I mean? He's like, fuck.
And by like they kill the dudes on the first one, and then the second one, he's just like, bye, let's go.
Yeah, he's like, yo, it's me. Nobody, blah, blah, blah. But they're like, his mom's like, oh, your aunt and uncle called me. They're a little worried. They said 4 people got killed. He's like, yeah, man, just take what's mine. Fuck them.
Oh, right. That was before he met up with his mom, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So he comes in. She's like, oh, they're a little alarmed. They said 4 men were killed. They were robbed. He's like, yeah, that was me.
Yeah.
Whatever. He's like, if you want to step away, I get it. I don't care. He's just, and then when they drop fucking Straight Out of Compton, dude, that's what I was screaming. I went Straight Out of Compton, crazy motherfucker named Ice Cube.
Same shit. Just in the way they hit it, it was like you're now about to witness the stretch of street knowledge. Boom, and those drums hit, and I was like, oh my God.
I was like, man, this is fucking ecstatic. I was like, wow.
Yeah, I haven't been more hyped for a TV show in a long time.
That was powerful. I did like the part too, even though it's ham-fisted with the Leon. Like, this is why you have to watch Belly, bro. All right, this is not a big spoiler because the movie's not great. You just need to watch it, okay, as a rap person.
All right, I will watch it.
Okay. And call out culture listeners. If anyone has cheap or free movie editing software and can download the movie Belly to me, or do it on your own, please just cut the movie of Belly where the whole movie's about Tommy Buns, DMX's character, and not Sincere. Because Nas should not be the lead of any fucking movie. We know this. It's 25 years later, right? But anyway, the whole point of Belly is Nas is doing unbelievably foul, wild shit and being like, yo, man, we got to go to Africa, man. Know what I'm saying? We just got to go back to the motherland. You know what I mean? And you're like, what? Like, you just killed 40 fucking, like, what are you talking about? You have to go to Africa. Like, it just comes out of nowhere. So when Leon's having that meeting with all the dudes in his apartment, and he's telling them, like, randomly, yo, they're about to do midterms. They're about to do crackdowns on black people selling crack. And they're like, he's like, yo, you should leave that shit behind, start a fucking laundromat, start a car wash. And the dude's like, well, what you going? I'm in charge. And I was like, and Lee's like so sick in his face. He's like, you guys don't get it. Looking at him like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? Like, what? You're the baddest fucking dude in the projects. Like, holy shit. Why would you leave that behind? It doesn't make any fucking sense. I'm like, you're right. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, they were right in that moment.
They're totally right in that moment.
They were totally fucking right. Yeah.
They did a shortcut with him. I think you nailed it. If they like let them have the scene with Wanda, they go travel and he comes back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where like he trips out on LSD and says we should take a trip to Africa, right?
Yeah.
And then he misses all of this shit. He misses Kane, Teddy, Lou, all of that. He's just gone.
Yeah.
And then when he comes back next season, obviously he's going to bang with Franklin in the war that's about to happen. Versus his, even like this, the thing with him and I did like the scene with him and Avi and when they were on LSD. When Avi's like schooling him on like,
that was great.
That was cool, but I would have forgave that. I would have skipped it for him to make more sense of this whole the white man of the world is destroying us and we need to rebel, because that's what his whole conversation was, like we need to rebel and like rise up. And Avi's like laughing at him. He's like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Like, what about the Scots in England?"
Yeah, but I think that's like that would have been a good conversation to get him thinking about things.
Yes,
like have that. Then he runs off with Wanda and he gets to think about some things.
Right.
Like, I mean, and I know Sissy was kicking some shit in his ear earlier in the season too.
Right.
To try
a little, but again, like, it doesn't add up to where he spends the entire season on some. No. We need to rise up against the oppressors.
Yeah, not even a little bit.
Because when Buckley's fucking with him, you know what I mean? That's when he's like, yeah, see, I knew it. I was right. We need to get away from these people.
Yeah.
The very, very beginning of the season. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was weird. He was betrayed by the writing because he still did it.
He was. And sorry, go ahead.
No, that's what I was gonna say. Like he was so dope when he was just kind of like a violent attack dog.
Yeah.
Going to be reined in. And this season, like, he didn't really do anything.
Yeah, it wasn't earned. It wasn't like a natural progression to get there.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
What are you gonna say?
I was going to say the killers that we were thinking of were Black Diamond and Dallas, who were great.
They are great.
There's just so many good characters.
They're phenomenal. Black Diamond, Dallas. I like that shit. Yeah, I just didn't like the Veronique, the girlfriend. She was a little. Here's my thing about her. Everything about her was very prep school focused, put together, tidy, neat. Educated. Like, it makes no sense for her to be involved in a criminal enterprise with Franklin Saint.
No.
Now, the phone call she makes at the end, clearly, I've been waiting for that shoe to drop all season. Like, she's doing, there's another angle to this chick, because she doesn't just show up out of nowhere and get pregnant with him. And like, they have like a fucking office with employees getting benefits, like looking at like land title leases and shit. Like, that was weird. Yeah. But they sold it all season. Okay, fine. So for her to make a call, I'm like, okay, maybe she is from like a family of fucking gangsters in Detroit or some shit. You know what I mean? And like fled and did everything to clean herself up. That would be cool.
That would be, yeah.
To see if it goes there. But as is, I thought she was just, I don't know. I didn't get it.
No.
Just like all of a sudden he's like about her and they're pregnant and he's upset and whatever. Anyway.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I liked the actress and I thought she acted really well.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't love it. Like, I didn't love that whole storyline.
Yeah. You're right. It was a vehicle for him to be like, maybe I should get out of the game.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah. So I was just looking up Avi, for like some rest in peace shit for Avi.
He's a G.
I hated him in the beginning. I thought he was like real sort of like one note, stereotypical.
Yeah. Yep. I agree.
But then just as the show went on, I was like, they gave him so much depth and he was great. But while scrolling through this, I came across a picture of something that I totally forgot about that might have been the highlight of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Oso dancing on LSD at the wedding.
Yo, I told you guys. I said the Oso sequence, the LSD episode, when he has the fucking tie around his face. Like, that shit, I said to Castro, I'm like, that was like a 10-second clip of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Just someone on drugs out of their fucking mind doing God knows what randomly. You're like, what is happening with this dude? That was the best shit, man.
Yeah.
He was the greatest. God, I love him. Because he's just like very stoic and kind of routine. Everything about him is like the same guy doing the same fucking dirty shit.
Yeah. And but he's very workmanlike. He's like super blue collar about it.
Yes, exactly. He's very blue. Yeah. So to see him in a wedding with like a suit and tie was jarring. But then he was bugging the fuck out on the lawn. I love
Yeah.
that shit. Oh my god, I love it. I gotta like just put that on a loop. Oh my god, he's wonderful. Yeah, he's dope. And then Homegirl, when she found the, what was that, a listening device or a tracking device in the lamp?
I think it was a listening device.
And that's
It's
Teddy.
like a bug. Yeah,
Right.
it's Teddy. It's got to be Teddy. Yeah.
Fucking Teddy, man. He's gotta go.
Yeah, he's
Hey,
definitely
Reed.
gotta go.
Reed. Hey, Reed. That's what Franklin said. Reed, you got my back, Reed. Fucking
Reed.
Frank. Reed. And it's like Teddy gonna do right. Teddy promised them a key. Teddy. Franklin. The funniest part still is like season 1 when he has no affect in his voice whatsoever. Like,
Yeah.
hey Franklin, what are we gonna do? I don't know, sell this drug. And season 2 he's like, hey man, we gonna sell this drug or what? Like
He's definitely picked up the good Cali accent.
fucking leveled it up. You know what I mean? It's like how Homeboy, but it was like our man in on the Wu-Tang show where season 1 is like, we're gonna start a group called Wu-Tang. Season 2's like, we are a brotherhood called the Wu-Tang Clan. Raekwon, you are Razor Sharp. Method Man, you have Mad Styles. Jizza, you are a genius. Old Dirty Bastard, you are reckless and wild. Like how it became really distracting.
Oh my God, it was amazing.
Yeah. Ashton Sanders, that's that.
Ashton Sanders. It really is like one of my favorite things.
I could take his
voice.
Yo, we need a deal. We're gonna be the Wu-Tang Clan. The song's called Protect
so
Your Neck.
amazing.
And
like I do love how they went from like
nothing.
Enter the 36 Chambers into the Flood.
The Flood it's still bullshit. The Flood is bullshit. Never believe the Flood. It is propaganda to make sure Inspector Deck doesn't feel bad about making a bad album 4 years after he was hot. It's all propaganda. It's all propaganda to make sure he doesn't feel bad. You should do
one take on that.
It's propaganda. Me and Shell's, rest in peace, talked about this a lot. It's propaganda because you can't have a flood. I talked about, I think, with Cam on Crate 808. Shouts to him. You can't have a flood that destroys Method Man's album and Deck's album and all that, and then be like, oh, I just made Cuban Links, the fucking best produced album ever. I just made that from scratch. That happened.
Wait, but I thought the Flood happened after all of that.
Before.
Really?
Before.
Yeah.
According to them.
Okay.
Because even Method Man said Tikal was like a rush job because they lost all these Method Man songs in the Flood.
Yeah, well, that would explain why Tikal sucks.
Well, Tikal's fucking cool as like
it was a
sound experiment.
It doesn't suck. That's wrong.
It's just the grimiest sub bass, like crazy distorted platinum album ever. It's like the grimiest album ever made. But Method Man was like saying like we just had to make these songs real quick and like it was too off the head. It wasn't like, think about it, there's no Kung Fu like it's not like a Wu-Tang cinematic thing the way Liquid Swords, Iron Man, Cuban Links, all that shit. But the Flood shit, I'm just like, well, I mean, if RZA loses your whole album, he then spends the next 4 years in the basement anyway, making beats every day. Like, why aren't you there picking beats? Like, why is this so fucking difficult? Like Raekwon was like, I'll take Criminology. I'm here every day. I'll take that. Thank you. I'll take fucking Heaven or Hell. I'll take Rainy Days. I'll take Knuckleheads. I'll take that. So
he just snatched it all up.
Yeah, like
for him.
Yeah, and in Raekwon's book, he's like, I was there. I just sat there, I just took all this shit and then went to Miami with Ghost and we wrote the album. I mean, that was it. But yeah, really? that whole Flood shit is bullshit. It's the cover for dudes not taking it for real. That's really it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
Dirty's album and Shimmy Shimmy Y'all didn't seem to be affected by the Flood. Brooklyn Zoo didn't seem to be affected, but you see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, no, that makes sense. I had always thought the Flood was after all of that.
No, because then after all that, then they went to Wu-Tang Forever. You see what I'm saying? Like, the Flood was him, as we saw on the show, recording beats and songs with all these dudes individually for years first.
Yeah.
So they all had, quote unquote, their albums in his crib. Right. But like, if you're doing demos with this motherfucker in 92 and it's 96, like, are you going to use those 92 demos to come out? You see what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
None of it makes sense. Or here's a crazy idea. You just take those fucking demo songs from your raps and put them on brand new beats when he's fucking 4 years better, changing the whole style of music in the world.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Like, That shit is bullshit, bro. That shit is so bullshit. And I watched Inspector Deck talk about it on Vlad TV. His timeline's totally wrong too. He's like, yeah, I was gonna come out, but then I was on Loud Records. I got all this hundreds of thousands of dollars, but then I'm competing with Raekwon and then the flood and all these. He like conflated his album, which came out in '99, with Cuban Links, was from '95. Like to him, it was the same year. I'm like, bro, 4 years passed. Like you're way fucking off. You know what I mean? God bless you. You're 50 years old. You're one of the reasons I rap, but like, your timeline does not check out in any capacity. Yeah, he's like, yeah, man, the flood happened, and then, Raekwon came out and Lau was all about him and he had these crazy songs and beats, and I'm trying to one up him. I'm like, it took you 4 years.
Yeah.
What?
And it was a dud.
Yeah, like, huh? What are you talking about? It doesn't add up, bro. Because when Method Man came out with DeKalb 2000, that's a new album. Like, that's not like, we took some songs from 92 and put them on new beats. Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, Ghostface made Iron Man, bro. Like,
made Iron Man. The Supreme Clientele came out after that, right?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like they were like demos. Like most of Dirty's album is old routines, because Dirty only had like 5 fucking rhymes to his name. That wasn't the point.
Yeah,
he would use the same fucking rap a million times. He didn't care. But like, if you live it in the world today, labels, Jizza, like, these are new songs, man. Like, this is brand new. I got your back. Like, this is new shit. Not, the flood happened. I'm like, well, I don't know. Don't you trust RZA to make a better beat than he did in 92, 91?
Yeah.
He made Assassination Day from scratch. That's a new beat. You know what I mean? Like,
it's a brand new beat.
Inspector Deck's on it. Could have been on your album.
Could have been, right?
You fucked up. You didn't do anything. You just thought it'd be all good.
He didn't stay around the studio.
Well, I will say this real quick.
Like, now I got to.
I will say this in a wrap up. In Raekwon's book, which I urge everybody to read, Raekwon repeatedly says that no one in the clan likes RZA and hasn't liked him for over 20 years. But there's a faction of people that will speak their mind about him, which includes him. And then another faction that don't want to fuck up the money train. So they go along to get along, even though they don't like RZA. They think he's a fucking herb and disagree with his decisions. But they're like, that's my check. So pipe down and let's just get this money off these Wu-Tang shows, these bullshit albums, and whatever it takes. Because that's that. And Ray's always like, no, fuck that. And fuck him. He's wrong.
Wow.
Yes. But the problem is, Ray, as Barry always says, Raekwon, and like you said about Lou, Aunt Lou, they're right to rebel, but we'll see with her. Raekwon's choices after he rebels are all terrible.
All terrible.
So he's right to say fuck you, but he can't then steer the ship. Like, he's a bad captain.
So this book right now is just it's only hardcover.
Yeah, it's great. I got a fucking Target for like $20.
No, I was just looking. I was just about to buy it, but I hate hardcover books, man.
Oh, all right, man. Well, I'm sorry you feel that way.
No, you just can't take them on the train. They're like hard to read on the train.
True.
So
I'm reading this book now. I bought it at the airport on an impulse in San Francisco. Have you ever been to the San Francisco airport?
I'm sure I have been.
Dog, it is like, it's like being in like a relaxing museum / Apple store. It's just like so chill and everything's spread out. Everything's cool and new. I bought a book on a whim, and I already had books packed. Well, we were flying home. My son wanted fucking some toys or something. So I bought this book called Anthem by Noah Hawley. Noah Hawley wrote, he did Fargo, the show.
Fargo, yeah.
And Legion, right?
Yeah.
And he's the one after Legion wrapped up, Marvel stepped to him like, you want to do a Marvel movie? Yeah. And he's like, I want Doctor Doom. And they were like, no. And he's like, all right, fuck off. So I respected him for sticking to his guns. Like, it's Doctor Doom or nothing. Yeah. And my thinking at the time was, if you give this guy a Doctor Doom movie, you film the entire movie from Doctor Doom's point of view.
Yeah.
Where he runs a country, he gets these magical fucking powers, he gets disfigured, he has all this crazy tech. He's basically Tony Stark, who's ugly, but with also a Doctor Strange's powers, which is fucking amazing. And at the end of the movie, after he's holding shit together, you see like one of the walls in his castle fucking explode, and the Fantastic Four walk in, and the movie ends. Or like in his, like you see the story of like they're the villains.
Yeah.
He's a king of a country. He's a sovereign nation. Why are they fucking with
Yeah.
him?
Why are they fucking with me?
Yeah, but he would have done some shit. Like Noah Hawley would have been like, let's go somewhere with this shit. And they were like, nah. But anyway, so this book, I saw his name on it. I'm like, it was like $30 hardcover. And I was like, I haven't spent $30 fucking dollars on a book in years. Fuck it. And so I'm reading it. I'm like maybe like 60 pages in. And it's about post-COVID, where all these teenagers in mass numbers start killing themselves and no one knows why. And then it creates like this new society. But I don't know how it starts yet.
Wow, that sounds wild.
It's pretty fucking wild to read. It's like really fucking intense. And it's going into all the, the ills of the last 5 to 10 years with things we know about, like from the coddling of the American mind and social media and all that shit.
Yeah.
But it's really interesting. And a lot of it's written from the point of view of like teens or like younger kids, like 10 to 12 or 14. So far, it's really, really fucking interesting. But it takes place in like 2000. It starts in like 2009, and then it picks up like 2024. And it's like, I was like, okay. So I'm very, very intrigued to read this shit. But anyway, I'm gonna cut all this shit out.
Keep that shit in.
All right, I'll keep it in. Fuck it, man. You got a little Wu-Tang hatred, and then Noah Hawley book recommendations.
Noah Hawley.
Only on
so real quick before we end, predictions for next season. Let's get them on
Teddy
record
dies.
now.
Teddy dies for sure, and then I'm gonna say Franklin's father reemerges because the KGB is gonna like get him and free him. Whatever he's doing, I don't think he's dead.
You don't think he's dead?
No.
Okay.
And I think the girlfriend is calling up her people in Detroit or wherever the fuck they're from, who are some wild street people, to get in the mix.
Okay.
Because for her doing that call at the end was a nuclear button.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's only after he's lost 73 million and he's going to be at war with his family and the CIA that does she make any kind of call.
Any kind of call.
Right.
Interesting. What if she's CIA?
The CIA get pregnant by the fucking biggest drug dealer in America?
Okay, good point.
That's the only thing I thought of. I thought of that first, but I was like, why would she get pregnant by it? She would not do that.
So Peaches turned state.
Whew.
That's how Oso got caught, and it's all just going to start closing in on everybody.
Ooh.
Jerome has to kill Louis.
Oh, dark.
And
dark.
Franklin goes to the joint, and Teddy keeps doing what he's doing.
Oh. Or Teddy turns into Oliver North.
Yeah.
I like that as a good one. That's fucked up.
Word. So I guess we'll see. I mean, I also would just be happy if Franklin just went on a rampage the entire season again, because that shit was amazing.
Just bodies everywhere.
Yeah.
Even bodies in his wake. Shouts to Franklin.
It just becomes a horror movie.
Well, he becomes the shape.
Yeah, exactly. Franklin is the shape.
They throw him out of a fucking window. They look down again. He's gone. They're
He's
like,
gone.
Where the fuck did he go?
Where did he go? And you just hear the breathing throughout the whole hood.
Oh my God. That would be awesome. Well, another one in the books. Again,
there it is.
Banking on this one being one of the least listened to or watched or whatever. But fuck it, man. We keep you honest. That's what it's going to be from us. Yeah, so there you go. So we got some things in the works. I'm not going to talk about them just yet, but we got some new music on deck being mixed and mastered on various levels. And then that's all I got, man. Been drinking this Two Robbers Spike Seltzer tonight. Shouts to Philadelphia Spike Seltzers. Highly recommend. What do you got?
Yeah, I mean, same thing. Just, some stuff in the mixing, talking about album art, and, drinking regular seltzer.
Shouts to you. Good.
Yeah.
You're only one of us gonna have a weird hangover tomorrow. I haven't had this shit in forever too. So I had to hit up the Acme today. $13.
Oh, and also I realized I got my Amoeba shirt on too. So shout out to Amoeba, Amoeba LA Lakers shirt.
Look at that. Hollywood Amoeba.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Yeah,
You've never turned down a free fucking
shirts
t-shirt.
when I was out there.
Yeah, you would never turn down a free fucking t-shirt too.
Oh, I bought this shit.
Look at you.
Yeah, I didn't. I mean, I didn't. I was at the LA joint, so I didn't really know anybody out there.
They didn't blaze you up like Berkeley. My people's in Berkeley.
Nah.
Yeah, man. This episode brought to you by all the Amoebas. Fucking
Amoebas, yeah. All our friends at Amoeba Records.
Amoebi.
Yeah.
All right, man. We're Call Out Culture.
Amoebros.
Amoebros. For Alaska and Zilla, enjoy Snowfall if you haven't. Watch it, stream it.
For all 2 people who watch Snowfall.
Yeah.
This episode's just for Castro.
It's just for Castro, possibly Chumzilla.
Yeah, that's about
if you
it.
guys haven't watched it over the summer, just binge this fucking show and then listen
go
to it.
in.
You'll love
There's
it.
nothing good coming out in the summer anyway.
No.
You know, watch Stranger Things in a weekend and then just get into this.
I don't even watch this shit. That shit is stupid. Shouts to Stranger Things. I know kids love it. Shouts to them too. All right.
Yeah.
We're done.
All right.
Call Out Culties.
Cool.
Peace out.
Peace.
Later.